Greetings, lords and ladies, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. Last time we saved the Circle Mages from a whole bunch of demons and abominations and added them to our army. And so we have his emissary over there, the emissary for the mages, rather. So first part of our quest to build an army to battle the Darkspawn is complete. But for today, I think we need to kind of catch up with our party and find out what's up. So this is going to be Fireside Chats round 3. Go! And let's see, let's go ahead and start with Doggy. Get him out of the way.
Your dog is filthy. I can smell him 50 yards off.
Aw, puppy. Good, he will fell our enemies with his stench.
That may be so, but all the same, I would like your permission to bathe him.
Bathe? Can't you just wave your staff and make him clean? He's a warhound, not some pampered and powdered lapdog.
I suppose that's true. Just make him sleep over on the other side of the camp. With Alistair. With any luck, that will keep all the stench confined to one small area.
Oh man, they love making fun of Alistair. And why do they think he smells bad? He can't smell bad. The guy, his hair is amazing. I mean, that takes a lot of pampering. There's no way that he's that smelly. Although, I guess this is Ferelden. It's not like we have access to showers all over the place. Yes. Alright, well that was Dog. Let's go talk to Wynn.
Oh, it's been a long day. Rest would be welcome.
Starting to slow down a little, are we?
I'm just feeling a little weary is all. As you may have noticed, I'm no spring chicken.
There's still some life in those old bones, I bet.
Thank you. You're very kind to say so. But in all honesty, I do not know how many years I have left in me. I have lived for such a long time, but there is always something else to do. And I have to keep going in order to do it. I think I will be glad when I am done.
You're not allowed to be done quite yet.
Oh, no. I'm not the sort of person that leaves things unfinished. I'll see this through, I promise.
Yay, Wynn approves. What else you got to say?
Have you encountered many abominations, apart from the ones in the Circle Tower?
Why do you ask?
You are younger than I, and your nerves yet have some steel in them. Did you feel any fear facing the abominations?
This is interesting. How does Ash experience fear? He can't be too fearful. Tends to be quite rational. Having no fear doesn't sound like Ash. I mean, having no fear sounds unwise, because fear is useful. And also, you should be afraid of stuff. It keeps you in the moment. Some, but I knew I could not falter.
The first time I saw an abomination, my blood turned to ice. It was months before the nightmares stopped. It was the knowledge that I could easily become one of them that frightened me the most.
You're too easily perturbed, then. No. But it is this knowledge that drives you to be cautious.
One slip. All it takes is one slip, and everything you are is simply gone. Replaced by madness. And there is no turning back, or at least that's what they say.
You have doubts?
Of late, I have begun to wonder if there is any way an abomination can be cured. Or if a mage could be so possessed and still retain their sanity, their humanity.
If one retains one's humanity, one is not an abomination.
Yes, it is madness and cruelty that define abominations. If those are lacking, if the mage remembers the person they truly are, then They are not an abomination. I never saw that. Thank you for showing me another way of looking at it.
It's an odd line of questioning.
So, tell me, how did you become a Grey Warden?
The short story, I met Duncan and he liked me. No, I kind of like Wynn. I think if I was Ash, Wynn would kind of remind me of my own mother a bit. She's older, of course, but also strong, just like my mother was. Willing to jump into battle, always something to do. So I kind of feel confident that I could open up to her about stuff, and she would understand. Arl Howe massacred my family. Duncan helped me escape.
Arl Rendon Howe? The Earl of Amaranthine? Why would he do such a thing to you?
Who knows? He had always been a friend of us Kuzlins.
You are the last of the Kuzlins? I had no idea. My lord?
Don't. I'm just a Grey Warden now.
Yes, I suppose so. You can no longer have a title, can you? But that does not mean you must forget utterly where you came from. Take heart, dear friend. You survived, even when you were not expected to. We do not know yet what lies in store for you, or the name you carry. It is not so bad, is it, being a Grey Warden?
I'd give it up if it meant I could see my family again.
Sometimes it gives me comfort to think that everything will end up the way it's supposed to. That it will be all right. You were chosen. You survived the joining when others did not. Perhaps it was meant to be.
I think that would offer little consolation to Ash, who doesn't really believe in fate so much.
I must ask, what does being a Grey Warden mean to you?
It means everyone needs to show me some respect. I don't know. Does it have to mean something?
I just wanted to know what you thought being a Grey Warden was about. Ultimately, being a Grey Warden is about serving others. About serving all people, whether elves or dwarves or men.
You mean to say I serve as a protector?
As a Grey Warden, you are a guardian of men. And you guard them because their continued existence is more important than you are. Thus it is you who serves, not they.
I will keep that in mind.
A good king, a true king who cares for his land, uses his power to rule firmly but fairly. He serves his people first and foremost. The king who does not do this, who believes that he is entitled to his power, who abuses it and uses it for his own means, is a tyrant.
So in a way, having power confines you.
If you live apart from others and your actions affect only you, then you may do as you wish. But if you have power, influence, and strength, your every action will be as a drop of water in a clear, still pond. The drop causes ripples, and ripples spread. Think of how far they will go, how wide they will become, how will they affect the pond. But I've lectured enough for today. I should stop before I wear out my welcome.
Oh boy, she's got all kinds of stuff to say. Why didn't you want to stay at the tower?
The circle is in good hands. Irving knows what to do, and he doesn't need me underfoot. For now, I will support those that battle the Darkspawn. I do feel I left things unfinished in Ostagar. There is so much left to do, and I would be part of it.
I am glad for your company.
The Grey Wardens, all 2 of you, need all the help you can get. I will see this through to the bitter end, and after that, if I am still left standing, then I will return to the circle.
I wanted to make sure you really wanted this.
No, of course I don't. I'm old and unsure of what I'm doing. Actually, I'd rather be in a warm chair in the sun, being served pudding, or some other easily digestible food.
Sounds good to me. Well, that can be arranged.
Well, get on it then, and make sure there's a blanket in my chair, and that it's soft, and that the pudding doesn't have cream on it. Cream gives me gas.
I like Wynn, she's cool.
Is there something you need?
I'd like to ask you something about the circle.
I will answer to the best of my ability.
How did you become a mage?
People don't become mages. They are born mages. The talent just surfaces later. But you are asking how I ended up at the Circle. I was brought there by the Templars, just like many of the other apprentices. I don't remember very much. I was very young then.
How did they know you were a mage?
I set a boy on fire.
Oops. I'm sure it's a fascinating story.
I didn't have a family. I never knew my real parents. My earliest memory was of hiding in a hayloft on a farm, trying to keep warm. I was found, and the farmer's wife was kind enough not to send me away. But they had children of their own, and I was never made to feel welcome. The eldest son was the worst. He was always calling me a stray, and throwing anything he could get his hands on at me. And I don't know how it happened, but one day, he just found his hair on fire. Fortunately, there was a large trough nearby.
Was he seriously hurt?
I had singed his hair and eyebrows, but injured little other than his pride. Who knows what they would have done to me had he been more seriously hurt. Thankfully, all I had to endure was a few nights locked in a cold barn with a bowl of water and a crust of bread. The Templars arrived several mornings later.
Were the Templars mean to you?
One of them ignored me, but the other was kind to me. He gave me sweets and even sat me on his shoulders once when I wanted to look over a high wall that ran along the road. I'll never forget the moment the Templars led me into the entrance hall of the tower. I had never seen anything so grand in my life. I stopped being afraid then. I knew I was home.
Little did you know it was just a prettied-up prison.
Prison? You could see it that way. But those walls are there to keep non-mages out as much as to keep mages in. I learned very quickly that for every apprentice in the tower, there was probably one who never even lived to see the Templars come. No child, not even a mage child, is a match for an angry mob trying to place blame for a failed crop, a hard winter, a baby born dead.
That's terrible and sad.
Superstition and fear is what makes these people behave in this manner. It will be a good long time before that changes. Well, that's about all there is to my tale. That's how I came to the Circle.
What was life like in the tower?
I would be lying if I said it was easy. First, there were rules, and we were constantly watched to make sure we behaved appropriately. Then there was the study of magic. We had to cast the spells just so, control the effects completely. A single word spoken incorrectly, a gesture out of sync, and lack of focus. And we needed to have perfect focus, or we would be in danger.
At least you learned the dangers of magic from the Circle.
Without the Circle and my mentors, I would not have been where I am today. And there was joy in life at the Circle. The joys of fellowship, in knowing that you were not alone in your struggles. In spite of everything, I was happy in the tower, and I loved it.
There's nothing else I wanted to discuss. Okay, so a little insight into the lives of mages. So clearly, it's not all bad all the time. And just because the Templar organization is oppressive doesn't necessarily mean that all Templars are oppressive jerks. And Alistair is proof enough of that. There's probably plenty of guys just like him who were just given to the Chantry, and the Chantry turned them into Templars. So there's nuance everywhere. The key is, I think, to look at the individual and not where the individual comes from, and make your judgments appropriately. Liliana, what do you have to say, my dear?
Something I can help with?
I'd like to talk to you about
Yes?
something.
What's on your mind?
Okay. So she doesn't have anything new to share. It's okay. What about you, Sten?
You are not quite as callow as I thought. That is unexpected.
Callow? You thought I was callow?
You sound surprised. You must have heard this before. You'll get over it. Eventually.
Why did I let you out of that cage again?
I have wondered that myself. It is one of the many things I find puzzling about your behavior.
Well, I find plenty of things puzzling about you, too.
What is there to be puzzled by? I'm a simple creature. I like swords, I follow orders. There's nothing else to know about me.
You like swords? Me too.
I knew there had to be some reason I continued to travel with you. In any case, we should go now.
Okay.
As you wish.
That's enough for now. Sten approves, +2. Alistair, sir, what's up?
What do you need?
I'd like to ask you something.
Ask away.
Nah, we've been over all this. Okay, so nothing new with Alistair. What about you, Shale?
It speaks.
It does. I have some questions.
It doesn't have better things to do.
I never have anything better to do. How did Wilhelm come to acquire you?
That part I know, as Wilhelm often bragged about it to whomever was willing to listen to him. He claimed to have found me in the deep roads. I was in the ruins of a Tig, he said, deactivated, with my control rod not far away.
Just reading the options here. You don't know why you were there?
I think I remember a battle. It was long before, and then there was darkness. In short, no. I do not remember why I was there. It makes no difference.
So if he hadn't found you?
I wouldn't have had to put up with the twit, and I would be none the wiser. I don't think I was aware while I was there. Not like in the village. Or perhaps I was. Perhaps that was the dark place, and I simply couldn't see anything. How long could even I sit in the darkness and stare out at nothing, never sleeping? Oh, I do not wish to think of that.
Yeah, that would kind of suck. It's a good thing that, even though she never sleeps, doesn't necessarily have perfect memory. So, after a while, you forget stuff. It's a good thing, too. What was Wilhelm doing in the deep roads?
It was a hobby of his, scavenging. One of the reasons he traveled so much is that he was looking for entrances into the deep roads, old places the dwarves had long forgotten. And then he would sneak down and search for magical treasure, before anyone was the wiser.
Do you know where in the deep roads this was?
No. That secretive bastard refused to tell me. I would ask and ask, but no. He used to say that one day, if I were compliant and didn't talk back at his wife, he would take me there and I could look around myself. Rotten, lying bastard. If I had his head in my hands now, I would squeeze it like a giant lemon. Squish.
Let's move on.
On then.
Shale approves, alright.
It speaks.
It does. I have some questions.
It doesn't have better things to do.
You watch that village day and night for years?
I do not sleep, so yes. And I thank it for reminding me. Try to imagine, if it will, what it would be like to be surrounded by nothing but boring peasants, all oblivious to it.
Yes, that would be rather horrid.
And then there were the birds. A whole village full of pigeons and ravens and sparrows all perching on me day in and day out.
Sounds a little messy.
Those foolish villagers would spread birdseed near me, drawing the birds, because they thought having birds perch on me was quaint. Quaint! If there hadn't been the occasional kind soul to scour me clean, I don't care to discuss this anymore.
Shale approves some more. Shale's gaining all kinds of stuff.
Speaks.
I still have some questions.
It doesn't have better things to do.
You don't seem to like humans much.
That is true. I do not. I'm not interested in getting into a discussion on the subject, however. Ask another time. If it is done asking overly obvious questions, let us find some humans to throw off a cliff or something.
Alrighty. Sounds good to me. Okay, Sten, Liliana, Alistair. What about the dog? Anything new from dog? Alexander relieves himself on an inconspicuous area nearby. Pet Alexander. Aw, puppy. He just had a whiz, and now he gets loves. Actually, I need to give him beef bone. That's right. Actually, I need to give everyone some gifts. Trollby, I'll talk to you later. Tolby. Alright, Morgan. What's up with you, dear?
I have a thought.
Oh, what's on your mind?
We have an opportunity that I believe we should take advantage of. To the point. My mother was once divested of a particular grimoire by a most annoying Templar hunter. It occurred long before I was born, but even today, Flemeth speaks of the loss with great rage. With the circle of Magi in such disarray, it occurs to me that this might be the perfect time to recover the tome from their possession, for surely it eventually ended up in their hands.
That she must be referring to that black grimoire I found. What do you want with this grimoire exactly?
'Tis a book of spells, of the sort that Flemeth has dabbled with throughout her long life. 'Tis not the sort of thing that would benefit a mage of the standard variety. They were taught a different path. I, however, was taught by my mother. I know a way around the wards my mother would have placed on such a tome. I know the language that she would have written it in. I would find such a tome most useful.
Should I give it to her? Yeah, I've gotta trust Morgan. If I don't trust her, who's gonna? You know? I'll give her a reason to act right. That's my reasoning. I think I already have the tome you're talking about.
What is this? The grimoire? Ever since we discovered the condition of the Mage's Tower, I had wondered if it might be recoverable, but I had yet to speak of it to you. How fortunate that you found it on your own. You have my thanks. I will begin study of the tome immediately.
What, I don't even get a kiss?
I suppose something is deserved for all your efforts, is it not?
Huzzah! Yes, I'll do just about anything for a smooch. Just about. Morgan approves, +8. Alright, let me just check this out. Do I still have it in my inventory? No, she took it. Okay. Now, what is her affection now? Morgan. There you are. Her affection is, wow, 73. She adores me. Well, that's good. I also have, I'm pretty sure, silver chain. She can have that.
A fine gift.
You have my thanks.
You're welcome. Let's go ahead and give everyone the gifts that I found. You don't have one. Wynn has one. The Rose of Orlais.
A generous gift. Thank you ever so much.
And you, sir, get a beef bone. Know you love those. Little treat. Alistair, you will get the White Runestone.
I could get used to this, you know.
Okay. Whatever you say, bro. Oh, I need to win some wine.
A generous gift. Thank you ever so much.
And oopadoo, don't have those guys yet. And Liliana, you will get the Chantry Amulet.
Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Wow. Lots of new abilities coming up. Tolby, did I put anything else in here? Right, that's for Wynn. Shiny Gold Ring is for anybody. And, oh, and I also have all these gifts. Now, these are, I found out what these are. The Pet Rock, the Beard Flask, the Amulet of Memories. These are all things that you give to your companions, and they upgrade their affection for you by a ton, by 50, actually. So you can easily max out someone's affection really quick. The way that I got them is from a DLC called the Feast Day something or another. But anyway, yeah, it came with the package. It was one of those DLC I'd never bought before, so I didn't know what it was. But a lot of these are gifts, and they will do a lot. But there's also these things that they're actually pranks that you can play on people, like the Uncrushable Pigeon. You give it to Shale, and then she has a uncrushable pigeon on her shoulder, and she hates you forever. So, stuff like that. The Cat Lady's Hobble Stick, you give that to Wynn, and she doesn't appreciate it, but she will have a hobble stick that will summon a cat. So there's all kinds of cool little things. I might actually do it later on, just for funsies. But yeah, we'll get to that later on. I don't want to see. I'm reluctant to give them the gifts because I don't want to prematurely max out their affection. You know, because that seems kind of like cheating almost. But once I have their affection pretty high, maybe I'll just do it and get it maxed. So Morgan, anything else?
I have something for you.
Is it bigger than a bread box? Nah. Sure, why not? Is it bigger than a bread box?
'Tis a ring. Now, before you get any foolish notions, let me explain. Flemeth once gave me the ring because it allowed her to find me no matter where I went, in case I was ever captured by hunters. I disabled its power as soon as we left the wilds. Recently, however, I thought to change it. Now, I will be able to find whoever wears it instead.
It's a sweet gift, thank you.
It is not given out of sentimentality. I believe you were too important to risk. If you were captured, this ring would allow the rest of us to find you quickly.
Thank you for the gift.
You are welcome. Perhaps it will be useful someday.
Yes, now that is incredibly important for an event that happens later on in the game. But actually, I believe it's an equipable item. Morgan's Ring, +2 willpower, which is better than the other one I have. So good. But it is it's one of those things that it kind of determines what type of ending you get. I'd like to discuss something personal.
We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
Yeah, let's go for a smooch again.
What's this? 'Tis a rather odd discussion you seem to desire, leaning in so closely.
Humor me.
Oh, it's humor you desire. I didn't realize comedy had anything to do with this.
Only if we do it wrong.
How true. Let us do it right, then.
Heyo! Alright, alright. That's enough making out. That's enough making out. That's making everybody in the camp uncomfortable, I'm sure. Okay, so... epic music going on right now. Okay, so now that I've upgraded everyone's affection, let's see if they got anything else to say.
I'm wondering something. I'd like to know your thoughts about some of our traveling companions. Do you mind if I ask?
Time for some juicy gossip, I take it.
I've got this nefarious plan to go around to each of them and secretly tell them all the nasty things you said. That way they'll mutiny and I shall become the group leader.
Very cute. So you know I'm laughing at you, not with you.
Ouch, now I'm wounded. Look at me, bleeding all over the place. You're just not very nice, are you? Seriously though, I'm only curious. I've had enough time to form my own opinions, and I just want to see if yours are any different.
Only if you tell me your opinion as well.
Just try and stop me. Let's see, where should I begin? What about Sten? The way he looks at me with those eyes. Creepy. And he's so quiet for someone so big.
No opinion. Next. No, I'm just kidding. I respect him.
The more I talk to him, the more reasonable he does seem. His philosophy is so strange. But it doesn't sound at all as vile as the Chantry describes it. And yet, he killed all those people. He doesn't even deny it. Doesn't that bother you?
He seems to regret what he did.
I'm not so sure that his regret means the same as it would for us. The Kunari sense of honor is... it's a bit hard to grasp. For me, anyway. What about Liliana? Is she crazy? Or do you really believe in her vision?
I believe that she believes in her vision.
That's one way to put it. I don't know what to make of her. If you look at her when she doesn't see you, she just looks so sad. I almost feel guilty taking her away from her life.
It was her choice.
Yes, I know. Still, I feel badly for her. Morrigan, do you trust her? Think about it. Maybe Flemeth sent her with us for some other reason than she said.
What reason could she have to betray us?
Hello? Have you met her? I think she'd need a reason not to betray us.
She has a reason. I'd kill her. No. I don't know about that.
Just tell me one thing. Is it true what the others say? Do you have a thing going with Morrigan? Tell me it's not true.
What the others say?
You think we have better things to do all day than talk about you? Come on, tell me it's not true.
It's true, so what?
Great. So they were right. Well, it's your funeral. Enough. I think my curiosity is sated. Let's get back to it, shall we?
That's kind of an interesting conversation. I like how they give you opportunities to voice your opinions about the other characters. And, you know, I think that's pretty correct. We didn't go over Wynn, but she just joined, so I'm not entirely... that doesn't surprise me at all. Same thing in Shale's DLC, so I'm not surprised they didn't talk about him either. But, yeah, as far as Liliana goes, I mean, Ash probably likes her a great deal, and probably, while he doesn't agree with her philosophy, surely doesn't think that she's lying to him or is being insincere. She's probably does believe what she believes. And, you know, he's okay with that. She's entitled to her beliefs. Sten is, you know, he is hard to grasp. His sense of honor is not the same as ours, but you can trust that he will follow that code. So as long as you don't get on the wrong side of that code, it's fairly fair. Coexistence is possible. It is difficult, but possible. And Morrigan, I fully expect that she has ulterior motives, but I also don't think she is as malevolent as people would assume she is. I think she's not immoral, she's amoral. She doesn't necessarily have this, like, she doesn't really have morals at all. She just has goals, regardless of what they mean to an overall sense of ethics or anything like that. But she also defers to the Warden, me, so as long as I'm around to keep her on the straight and narrow, she'll be alright. That's my philosophy anyway. Alright, I think, is that everybody? No, we want to talk to Liliana again.
Something I can help with? Yes? What's on your mind?
Nope, nothing new. Just checking. We didn't give Sten anything. We didn't give Shale anything. What about, no, not you. We did give Wynn some wine. Do I have more wine? I think I picked up more wine, didn't I? I did. Wynn, have some more wine. Yay, everyone could use some wine.
Oh, marvelous. You're quite taken with each other, aren't you?
You know about Morrigan and me?
Well, she's hardly discreet. The way she looks at you, it's as though she's completely forgotten there's anything of you above the waist.
There is a lot more of me below the waist.
Oh, sweet maker. Is a little decorum too much to ask?
Haha, it's so easy to get to you.
Moving along now, I've noticed your blossoming relationship, and I wanted to ask you where you thought it was going. She is a cunning woman, a maleficar. She will use you for her own ends.
You don't know her. It's not your right to judge.
I am telling you what I see and what my instincts tell me. And even if the feelings you share are genuine, this affair may not be the best thing for either of you. You are a Grey Warden. You have responsibilities which supersede your personal desires.
I'm a human being with emotions, not just a Grey Warden.
Love is ultimately selfish. It demands that one be devoted to a single person who may fully occupy one's mind and heart to the exclusion of all else. A Grey Warden cannot afford to be selfish. You may be forced to make a choice between saving your love and saving everyone else. And then what would you do?
You're making things sound more dire than they are.
Nothing is certain. Not in these times. You cannot take anything for granted. I want you to be aware of this.
I'll consider what you have said.
I am just trying to minimize the suffering that may come to either of you. I have given my advice. Do with it what you will.
Yeah, she disapproves, but that's okay. Yeah, like I've said, I think, I don't really think it's ever going to come down to choosing between Morrigan and choosing between saving the rest of Ferelden. You know what I mean? We're both working on the same thing, and we both know the risks, and right now, the only thing between us is a little bit of Strange on the side, because that's all she wants. And you know, if things progress further, they will, but, yeah, I don't think this is as crazy as Wynn thinks it is. I think she's going down that slippery slope before it's warranted. But, you know, thanks for the advice. I'll keep it in mind. Alright, well, I think, let's... Nah, nothing happened with Shale. Actually, I want to go talk to Morgan one more time. Just to be certain. I'd like to ask you something.
So, full of questions, are you?
Never mind. Alright, well, I think that is all for today. Thank you very much for tuning in for another round of Fireside Chats. This has been Question All the Things, and we'll see you next time for more adventure. Until then.